Namaste and welcome to this level 2 to 3 flow and flow class. For this class, we're going to need the use of blocks when we start working on our floating forward up to the hands. So just make sure that your blocks are nice and close to your mat as we're going to use them within our flow sequences. When we're ready here, we'll get started on our backs. So starting in a supinated position onto our backs, we'll bring both knees into the chest. We'll just start with a really nice warm up for the hips and the low back, the core. Just want you to kind of rock side to side with the feet crossed. Let's take a few deep breaths here. Beautiful. And from here, I want you to extend both legs up nice and straight. You're going to point the toes forward, draw the arms off to the side, and just these tiny reverse crunches here, I want you to lift the glutes as high up as you can and release. Lift and release. Just making sure that our upper back stays to the floor, so just these tiny baby lifts, trying to bring the knees slightly closer to the nose. Deep breaths. Let's even go for another 10, 9, 8, 7, nice and straight. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cross the feet, bring the knees in, rock side to side. Beautiful. This time, extending both legs up nice and straight. I want you to drop your right leg to the floor, making sure that your low back stays pressing into the mat. So nice and slow on the way down. On the way back up, nice and quick, so exploding up. And I want you to press yourself up into a shoulder stand. Do your best to try and get your hips right above your shoulders. And then you're going to drop left leg forward. You can keep your arms off to the side, or maybe even draw them forward, whichever is more comfortable for you. So lifting up, press, and then slowly down. I went left last time, so right leg down, press up, and slowly down, left leg, press up. And if you're having a hard time pressing up, maybe you're just doing that baby lift, and then release, baby lift, and release. If you can, all the way up, and back down. Beautiful. We'll see if we can go 3 more to each side. Try and exhale on the way up. Inhale on the way down. 2 more to each side. One more to each side. Beautiful. Good. And cross the feet, rock side to side. Take a moment here. Center yourself. Good. Now we'll either do the same thing, either going one leg. If you can, if it's available to you, bring both legs down nice and slow. Find that hollow body shape. Back up. Press slowly on the way down. We'll go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, let's go. Last one. Beautiful. You can cross the feet, hug the knees, rock side to side. Beautiful. Good. Now when you're ready, I want you to reach for the feet, hold on to the toes. Just want you to rock front to back here, massaging your mid to upper back. Beautiful. When you're ready, I want you to rock all the way up to a seated posture. So here I want you to bring your left foot forward like so. And after you lift yourself up from your back, you're going to attempt to lift your glutes up. Use the hands if necessary, but you want the momentum of you rocking back and up to lift yourself up. And you're going to perform a knee drop with the front leg. You're going to drop onto your back, and you're going to switch. Last time it was left foot in front. This time, right foot push all the way back. Left foot this time. And continue at your own pace here. Again, if you're still having a hard time, just see if you can continue rocking up. Maybe lift yourself. If you can't touch the floor, that's fine. Just try and push that knee forward. Go as far forward as you can. Eventually, knee to the floor. Take your time. Try not to slam on your back here. Let's go one more to each side. Beautiful. Good. Great, so moving to the progression, we'll see if we can roll ourselves up into our crow pose. Now, we haven't warmed up the wrist yet. We're going to do that just after. So if you rather just find a modification, I want you to roll yourself up into a malasana. So see if you can either roll your way up into malasana. If this is still difficult, perhaps just continue to lift to each side. Okay, if you can, you're rolling all the way back into malasana. The progression, see if you can take your malasana into your crow, straight from lifting up. Slowly drop down, back, and up. Okay, if the crow's not there, just see if you can roll malasana and up. Okay, so we'll see if we can go another 5 here. Either rolling our way up to malasana, crow, or the past modification, dropping the knee. So whichever one works best for you. I'm going to do my 5 crow. When you're ready, back and up. Even if you're off your mat here, that's fine. Maybe even touch the floor behind you. Little progression. Slowly down. And if the wrists aren't ready yet, some of our wrists might be a little cold. That's okay. Just take your time. Let's go one last one here. Beautiful. And up. Beautiful. And you can take a moment into malasana. When you're ready, I want you to lift your hips up. You're going to walk your feet inward, about hip distance apart. I want you to relax the upper body down. Just take a few breaths here, finding a nice stretch to the hamstrings. Try not to push your hips so far back. Continue to lean slightly forward, digging the toes deep into the mat. Catching up with your breath. Beautiful. When you're ready, I want you to pull yourself up halfway, nice flat back. You're going to bend your knees, and we're going to practice our float backs here. So starting with the feet separated about hip distance apart, I want you to lift your heels, bend at the knees, and then lean as far forward as you can. You can keep a baby bend into the elbows. Eventually, you'd like to try and do it with straight arms. For now, bend the knees, bend the elbows, lean forward until your feet feel like they're sliding out from underneath you, and you're going to draw yourself high plank to start. Eventually, you want to work your way into chaturanga. So floating back. Again, a modification from that slow version is just maybe jumping back into high plank. Eventually, really slowing it down to high plank. We'll exhale, lowering chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale to downward facing. Beautiful. So we're going to play around with our reverse warrior through this class. It's a really nice sequence. It's going to keep our breath heavy, and then we're going to bring that heavy breath into our floating. So really trying to calm ourselves down before we add any more intensive movement. So always trying to relax the breath here. We're just finding just a little bit of movement, trying not to remain rigid in the body. If the heels are still not touching, maybe you can lift the heels slightly. Spine is long. And when you're ready, inhaling, right leg up, point the toe, squeeze glutes. And then exhale, drawing right knee into the chest, round the spine, shoulders right over the wrists. From here, I want you to bring your right knee to meet your right elbow. And just see if you can maybe even just start to bend your elbows a little bit. And then straighten. Inhale, back up. Exhale, bend the knee in once again. Come in, straight arms, round the spine, tuck the chin. Bring right knee to left elbow. See if you can bend your elbows just a little bit. Inhale, back up. Exhale. Release the foot in between the hands. Find your runner's lunge. So here, just looking for balance, stability. Maybe you can just draw the fingertips a bit wider till you can maybe even take them away, draw them out behind you. And we'll inhale, warrior one. Again, we can always drop the back knee in this sequence. So at any time if we get too tired or if we're losing our balance, you always have that option to drop the back knee. Beautiful. So when we're ready here, I want you to reach left arm forward as you draw the right arm back. Now you can either keep your gaze forward if you find more balance. Eventually you can gaze towards your right hand. Just holding here for a few breaths. Any modifications here? Just placing the hands to the hips, drawing that right shoulder a little bit further back. Eventually straighten, or maybe even one hand forward. Lots to play with here. Beautiful. Now nice and slow, I want you to reach left arm up, nice and slow. You're going to gaze up towards that left hand. The right hand tries to slide down that left leg and find a nice stretch here across your left hip flexor, left quad, keeping your balance. We'll exhale, slowly release left hand to the floor. Reach right arm up. Beautiful. Reverse side angle. Gazing up towards that right hand, right fingertips. Now from here, we'll start to come into our modified side plank. I want you to drop the outside of your left heel as you start to walk your right foot toward the back of the mat. Maybe you stop halfway, so if you walk it any further back, you'll feel too much in the shoulder or too much in the core. So use that foot properly. Wherever we are, we're gazing up towards that right hand. Eventually you can walk the foot all the way back, maybe even stacking the feet here, finding our balance. Protract that shoulder, keep the shoulder away from the mat. And in one motion, nice and slow, you're going to release the right hand to the floor. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale to downward facing. Finding your breath here. When you're ready, inhale, left leg up, point the toe, squeeze glutes. On your next exhale, bend the knee into the chest, lift mid-back, round the spine. Bring your left knee to meet left elbow. Inhale, all the way back up. Exhale. Knee meets right elbow. See if you can bend your elbows a little bit. Back up, inhale. And exhale. Releasing the foot in between the hands. Beautiful. Find that runner's lunge. So keeping the heel up at the back. Taking a little bit of weight out of the fingertips. Create space along that left quad. Really ground the toes and the feet down. When you're ready, we'll inhale. Warrior. I'm going to try and move through this a little bit, not quicker, but more fluid. So trying not to hold the postures so much, but really observing how we enter and exit them. When you're ready, right arm forward, left arm back. If you can, gaze back. Release, left hand down as you reach, right arm up. Exhale, revolve, side angle. Reach, drop the back heel, start walking left foot back, all the way back maybe. Stack. One motion, exhale. To downward facing. Beautiful. Just taking a few breaths here. Beautiful. Now when you're ready, I want you to walk your hands back towards your feet as you take a seat in Malasana. Just try and catch up with your breath here. And what we're going to do is practice some baby floats up toward the front of our mat and the hands. So here, I just want you to observe. We're going to bring ourselves back into a downward facing position to start. So just observing here. I'm going to bend the knees, lift the heels, and ideally what I want to try and do is float and bring my hips right above my shoulders. And then I'm going to drop my feet just slightly ahead of where they are right now. But I want to do this slowly. So I'm going to hop and try and bring my shoulder or my hips right above my shoulders. And then bring my feet slightly more forward. I'll see if I can do this about 5 or 6 times all the way up towards my hands. Even if it's something like this, that's okay. We're working towards bringing the hips up a little bit higher. But a lot of our fear of coming into handstands or floating is just that, bringing the hips right above the shoulders. So you want to get over that fear by practicing a few times. Bring the hips up higher and float. So when you're ready, we'll see if we can do this anywhere between 5 to 6 times. Inhale and exhale. So you float up and up and up all the way to the front of your mat. Beautiful. You walk the feet in, feet hip distance. We'll exhale to our fold. We'll take a few moments into our fold. You can cross the elbows, kind of sway side to side. Beautiful. When you're ready, pulling up halfway, flat back. Bend the knees. We'll place the palms back. So this time we'll look at a progression of floating back into plank. Instead of floating back into plank this time, see if you can float directly into chaturanga. So again, keep the elbows slightly bent, knees bent, and slowly float. Chaturanga, inhale. Exhale to downward facing.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out my YouTube channel. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you enjoyed it that much, please hit subscribe. It means a lot. And if you're someone who's looking to take their practice to that next level, whether you're a beginner looking to simply improve their practice, or even an advanced practitioner looking to fine-tune their practice, head over to B Movement Academy, my own online school of yoga and movement, where you can find all of my premium content and exclusive programs that will meet you every step of the way to meet any of those movement or mindfulness goals. Most light and love. Namaste.